SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Waiting. You do it at grocery stores, in traffic, and at the doctor's office. But what if you could skip the wait altogether? Introducing Trust Care Plus, a healthcare membership that makes feeling better even faster. Skip the waiting room and enjoy priority access at any Trust Care clinic. Sick kid? Text your care crew day or night. Get discounts on prescriptions and so much more. Wait no more. Feeling better just got a whole lot faster. Join Trust Care Plus today. Plans start from just $15 a month. Learn more at trustcarehealth.com/plus.
Roll free record on my count. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Roll A, fade up on A.
Southern Miss to the top. You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour.
All right, everybody, let's go. Super Talk Eagle Hour is on the air. Bob Getty, Dima Mixon, Kelly Sanner. We're all in the Southern Bancorp studio here at Oak Grove, Mississippi, and we got a heck of a show today. Glyn Dyar is going to be joining us a little later. We're going to be hearing from Josh Moten and Landry Lyddy later in the program as well, two guys catching a lot of attention with Southern Miss football. And we're happy to have in our studio, as we start the show, in the first segment, of course, sponsored by Dickey's Barbecue Pit, the newest member of the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. No stranger to anybody here in the Pine Belt. Larry Halford has been the head baseball coach at William Carey University since 1986.
Bobby Halford.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. My apologies. 3 World Series, NAIA World Series appearances. Coach, 21 conference championships. And you passed a guy that's pretty well known by the name of Ron Polk earlier this year. What were your thoughts about being told you're going to be the second William Carey gentleman to go in the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame?
Well, I'm just really humbled for that honor, because that esteemed group that the state of Mississippi has is just it's really amazing, because the state has produced so many great athletes and so many great coaches over the years.
Well, Coach, what does it mean to you, though, as a professional? I mean, I would think the crowning achievement for a coach like yourself? Well,
I don't think you ever see something like that. I think you just enjoy what you're doing, and you put in the work every day, and it's just a byproduct of all the people that have helped you over the years, and all the great coaches and the players that you've had. So, it's just something that you do. And I think when you start coaching, you never think about things like that. You just think about going out there and the next game, the next practice, and that's what makes it so rewarding. That's what makes it fun.
Mm-hmm. Coach, I wanted to ask you, this was an obvious step. I mean, anybody who followed baseball in Mississippi knew that this was going to happen. From your personal experience, what would you say you want to be remembered by as a head coach?
I think that the players that have played for you, that they say you're a competitor, that you probably help them play harder, that you kind of was a role model for them. I think that's the biggest thing, is just doing the best you can, because I think back of growing up in Meridian and all the great coaches that were at Meridian High School during the time that I was coming through that impacted my life, and a lot of those guys became college coaches. A lot of those guys were superintendents of education, some were college presidents, and then coming to William Carey, I had John O'Keefe, who won a national championship, who was a really good coach, and then John Stevenson, who was my mentor. And some of the things that I do today is directly a result of the way he managed the game and the way he had our players play hard every day.
Coach, in way of explanation, right before you came in, Dima and I were talking about a very good friend of mine whose name happened to be Larry, who just passed away. Sure. And so I apologize to you about that. I clearly know who you are. Yeah. So. All right, to your right here is a young man that played baseball for you, John Carter Sanner. And so, John Carter, grab that microphone for just a minute. And before we talk a little more about you, what's this man mean to you that's sitting to your left here? And what did you think when you heard he was going in the Sports Hall of Fame?
I think it didn't really surprise me, obviously, with the resume that he's put together. It's kind of one of those things that, it was only a matter of time. And, I was very humbled to. It was, I was at William Carey for a year, so I got to play for Coach Halford for 1 year. But it was probably the funnest year of baseball I've had, and I think Coach Halford, every time that we were at the ABCA baseball convention last year in Washington D.C. and we always make an effort to see each other for a cup of coffee and just talk shop, and that's always something that I've really cherished about Coach Halford is just being as personable as he is, and I think as a player, one thing that I really appreciated is I never doubted where I stood with Coach Halford because he was so transparent about things, and that's something that I didn't think at that time. I guess more so now as I've matured, but I really appreciated that, and I don't think I think that's kind of something that gets lost in the shuffle nowadays is just the transparency, good or bad. But I think as a player, you appreciate that because you know where you stand and you know where you need to improve and where you need to get better. And I think as a player, that's all you want. So I'm just very grateful for the time I got to spend with him and pick his brain on things and always have a good conversation with him.
Coach, I know that a big part of coaching is watching the young men you coach grow into men and move on in other parts of their lives. And so when you hear like a young man like John Carter here, who's, I guess, leaving tomorrow, I understand, for a new job as a pitching coach within the Chicago White Sox Professional Baseball Organization, how does that make you feel?
Well, it doesn't surprise you because if you were around him as a player, that he was always trying to learn, he was always trying to get better. And the thing that really stood out to me about John Carter was that the bigger the game, the better he performed. And so, as a coach, that's what you look for. You look for that kid that has that it factor. And you still do, and that's the rewarding part of what I do. Is there are a lot of kids that maybe have been overlooked, and so hopefully, by being around those kids and trying to motivate them and that type of thing, and then see them accomplish what they've accomplished, it's just it's super rewarding. It's more rewarding sometimes with that than it is actually the wins and the losses.
That was my next question, and I've heard other coaches say that. Personal things like that mean more to them sometimes than the game itself.
Yeah, and I think, too, being growing up where I grew up and also being at William Carey all these years, it's so much fun to have guys that overachieve. I mean, that's something that you really – and also trying to find a diamond in the rough a lot of times. That's always been something that I really enjoyed trying to do. And and then seeing the potential in kids, I think that makes it really special.
Dima?
Yeah, Coach, when you look at all the accolades and things that you've accomplished, and you look across like Mississippi baseball as well, why do you think baseball is so good in Mississippi?
Well, I think it's just the type of people that the state of Mississippi has. They're God-fearing people. I mean, they're people that are hard workers, blue-collar workers. And the thing that stands out to me is traveling all over the country and playing in different venues. We have better facilities. We have better coaching. I mean, we go to Idaho, for our World Series. The high school fields over there are not even close to what they're like over here. The youth programs are not like they are here. So it's just the emphasis, and it's just that quality, the people that have they grew up hardworking, and so it passes on to all the kids. And so, you got something to prove. You got something to prove, and so I think that's something that motivates us all.
Mm-hmm. So what's next, Coach? Just keep winning ball games?
I just take it one day at a time. People ask me that all the time. I'm not a hunter. I'm not a fisherman, and that type thing. And
right.
What we do is each year try to build a club, and each year try to compete. And I think the competition and watching kids, mature and watching kids reach their potential, that does it all for me. It really does. And I really thank the people, and I thank my wife and all my daughters that have always supported me. And I was kidding the other day up in Jackson. I said that you have to be careful in the stands when you take on the coach and say something because one of my daughters might be sitting right there. So it's just been William Carey is such a unbelievable place as far as just people. And it's just a special place. And then representing William Carey has been something that's just been amazing for me.
Well, the honor couldn't go to a better man.
Well, I really appreciate that.
You certainly
appreciate the work you guys do, and Kelly, and all these years, and just watching him and how he coached. And it was no nonsense. Those kids that played for him were always they played hard, and he didn't. he was direct with them, and that's what
Right.
we try to do.
So it's amazing how well John Carter's done, considering, right?
He's overcome.
He's overcome a lot, hasn't
But
he, Coach?
I tell you, I go back and just think about all the big games, and you always have a player or two that you say, yeah. We had him out there, and that's the way we felt when John Carter was out there. When he was on the mound, we felt like we could beat anybody.
Real quick, John Carter, a few seconds left. You leave tomorrow for your new gig with the Chicago White Sox. You got to be pretty excited.
I'm excited. I've got some coffee ready to go. I'm going to leave this morning at 3 a.m. I'm flying out of New Orleans. So
Good luck with that, John Carter.
Hope you make it.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting experience. So, but no, I couldn't be happier to get down there and just I'm going to be there for probably a week and a half right now with winter instructs, and then I'll pretty much have the entire month of December off, so I'll get to annoy my dad a little bit more during that time. So
please do,
yeah,
because he annoys us every day.
Well, it's part of the job duty I have, so that was part of the contract. But no, I'm excited, and it's going to be a new adventure for me, and I can't wait.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you,
Coach. Nothing but congratulations to you. We look forward to another incredible year at William Carey, and you're welcome here anytime, sir.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
We're going to talk to Glyn Dyar next, and still to come, Josh Moten, Landry Lyddy, all coming on the Super Talk Eagle Hour. Stay with us.
Big news from Robinson Electric Supply in Laurel. We've moved. You'll now find us directly behind our old building, right by Sawmill Animal Hospital. We're still your trusted electrical distributor, carrying everything from conduit to tape. And don't forget our full line of Milwaukee tools. Whether you're a contractor or a DIY pro, stop by the new Robinson Electric Supply at 1222 West 6th Street and see what's lighting up Laurel. Robinson Electric Supply. New location, same trusted service.
The Eagle Hour. Southern Miss to the top.
All right, welcome back. Super Talk Eagle Hour on the air. I want to thank Coach Bobby Halford from William Carey, John Carter Sanner, who verified something that Dima and I have always thought and talked privately about, and he did say that it has been a big burden to overcome being the son of Kelly Sanner. But despite everything, look how successful the young man is.
And being a Bengal fan, I think that's, he was born into that.
I explained that to him. I knew exactly how he felt. To this day, I hold it against my father about the Redskins. Yeah.
But, man, you get him and Halford together. They're out there in the lobby now. I mean, they'll be talking for hours on end, those two.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Appreciate him coming on. Always enjoy having Glyn Dyar join us. And, Glyn, we get ready for a 2:30 kick this Saturday, 7-2. We talk about it a lot. It still seems kind of surreal, but in your observation, put into your words what you think about the job that Charles Huff and his staff have done.
Yeah, surreal is the truth. I was talking to several friends this week, and the recurring theme is I hadn't had so much fun covering a football team as this one. I mean, it's amazing how much easier it is to write about a successful football team as opposed to the latter. Coach Huff, we said it before, he's learned that recipe from different stops. He's kept the parts that work for him, and he's put it all together into a championship blueprint, and he came here and implemented it. And he surrounds himself with fantastic people. That's probably one of his greatest assets. Even when he loses great people, he goes and finds people that are equally as good or better. That's a real strong suit for him.
Glyn, Texas State coming in here this weekend. We're going to have the voice of the Bobcats on the show tomorrow. But talking to him today, he said he wouldn't be surprised if Texas State came in here and gave Southern Miss all they wanted because of the expectations primarily. You are human beings, right? Sometimes get ahead of themselves, and on paper, this should be easy pickings for Southern Miss. But this Texas State team, man, they can put up some points. Tell us what we know about the Bobcats and what we should expect from them. You think coming in this weekend?
Yeah, they're as explosive or more explosive than anybody in the conference. Nobody's really limited them offensively. They're gonna get their yards. So Southern Miss fans, be patient. The key for Southern is going to be to limit the explosives and the quick scores, make them drive between the 20s and use up time, and then when they do get in the red zone, hold them to the field goals, man, and keep doing your trademark turnover margin. Continues to get the turnovers, and we should be fine. But yeah, they're in terms of skill position, guys, they're as good as anybody we've played this year, and the quarterback is very, in terms of a skill set, he's very Rayner-esque. Except I think he has a better complement of players around him.
And I think one of the things one of the toughest things the coaches have to do, not just this week, but in the next couple of weeks, is we as a fan base, and it's natural in the human course of things, that we get ahead of ourselves thinking, oh, well, if we win this game and this happens, we'll clinch the championship and all that. It really is one game at a time, and we always get upset with coaches because we call it coach speak, one game at a time. But you really do have to stay focused because it could get away from you just as quickly as it came to you. And you can't overlook this team and then have somebody else get hot. Anyway, I'm rambling, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, these guys they've had discipline issues. They're a penalty away, a missed field goal away, and a single overtime, a double overtime, to being 6-3 and in the thick of the West battle. So, I mean, do not take them lightly. They outside, they probably have the best speed of anybody we played this year. 2 track guys, 10-3, 10-500 meters. I mean, and the quarterback, redshirt freshman, he's being extremely impressive. And
Moten we're going to hear from, I guess, at some point this week. But where do you think when his career is over, Glyn, brief as it has been, but where do you think he's going to rank among DBs in Southern Miss history? I think he is a fantastic player.
Yeah, he's fantastic, but, I mean, I'm an old guy, man. Like Bob, we saw the Hanford Dixons of the world. I mean, there's a huge line ahead of him. So I would like to see him with a 3 or 4 year career. But yeah, I think he's just now starting to come into his own. And people have thrown away from him. And last week, for whatever reason, they decided to test him, and it proved lethal.
Glyn, when you talk about the Texas State offense, and something I've discussed with you before is, on this winning streak for Southern Miss, they haven't had to face really great offenses in these games they've won. You think back to the Georgia Southern game, it was like, yeah, French was a good quarterback, but, he's not the best. You play, I think UL was next. They were on their third-string quarterback. ULM was next. They were on their third-string quarterback. Last week was really the first time we've seen, like, a decent offense play the Southern Miss defense, and they were able to put up almost 500 yards. They just couldn't score in the red zone. And now I think this offense is better than Arkansas State's. So, I mean, if you look at the numbers, you'd think Texas State would be able to move the ball on Southern Miss, and that might explain why the line right now is 4.5, only 4-point home favorites for Southern Miss.
Yeah, I've been telling everybody, get ready. They're going to get their yards. I mean, we give teams yards. We win with turnovers and win in the red zone. They're going to get their yards. The thing is, you just got to limit them. Don't let those plays be a 50-yard touchdown, a 55-yard touchdown, quick strikes. If that starts happening, you're going to get behind the 8 ball and get in a track meet with them, and that's disaster.
One thing about Texas State is their defense has not been all that great this year. They've allowed a lot of points, a lot of yards. Southern Miss, their offense has been efficient. It's been able to move the ball. And I just think we're in for some kind of, 45-42 game, which if you look at it, Glyn, that really favors the Bobcats more than the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, you get yourself in a scenario where you want to, obviously you want to be able to run the football and keep their offense off the field. I mean, that's a point. They defensively they've struggled, and now they've lost their starting corner and their starting defensive end due to the brouhaha over there in Lafayette. So that doesn't, that's a plus for us in that regard. We need to go out and have sustained drives, be able to run the football some. I think eat up some clock.
I think one of the things you want to look at in this game too is Texas State number-wise, points-wise, much stronger in the second half throughout the season than they've been in the first half. So if Texas State happens to get out to a quick start, that could be really problematic for the Eagles if they continue their trend of putting up big numbers in the second half. They almost pulled it out last weekend when they were way behind because of the second half they had.
Yeah, that's an offense that can erase deficits, in a short amount of time. They're dangerous. And no, you don't want to get behind them early. That's for sure. That's what I alluded to with the track meet. If you start chasing points with those guys, it can get tough.
Hey, Glenn, I'll throw a few names at you. Defensive backs, Patrick Surtain, John Eubanks, Derek Hoskins, Raymond Walls. I mean, we could go on for a while, couldn't we?
Yeah, I mean, if you look back through the annals of time, Southern Miss could have been, labeled a DB university, Very good DBs have rolled through here.
Right. Surtain have to be right there at the top, guys. Glenn, where would you put Patrick Surtain?
Patrick Surtain and Hanford Dixon, neck and neck. Hanford's probably a more physical guy. Patrick's probably a more technically sound guy.
You remember he was Surtain when he was here, but when he went into the NFL, it became Surtain. Remember that?
He can do anything he wants.
Oh, no, I agree.
He's an all-pro multimillionaire.
And I remember Tony Dorsett, when he was a running back for the University of Pittsburgh, right, goes to the NFL and it becomes Dorsett. So.
Hey, Glenn, this weekend I caught just a little bit of one of the pregame college shows, and they were giving some props to Southern Miss as a team that wasn't getting enough credit, and I thought it was interesting. The former Alabama coach, I can't believe his name is
Nick Saban.
You're right, obviously. Nick Saban kind of expressed that he wasn't really surprised at Charles Huff's success.
No, I mean, Nick Saban, doesn't make bad hires. I mean, you see the coaching tree he's created, with the head coaches all over the country that have coached for him and the success they've had over their tenure, where they've been. So, and Charles Huff was considered a success, with Coach Saban. So that just, speaks to, his future and, the present and the future.
Probably safe to say that Saban did make him the associate head coach at Alabama because he's a nice guy.
Oh, man, that just speaks volume to his leadership abilities and his organizational skills.
And I think that's going to make him even more desirable for other schools because he was as an associate head coach at Alabama. Yeah. But then went to Marshall where he was the main man, okay? Proving ground, did it, won a conference championship. Comes to Southern Miss, may win a conference championship here. So I'm telling you, Eagle fans, he has put together a great resume, and there's going to be a lot of schools, and rightfully so, come after him at whatever point.
All right, Glenn, give us your thoughts about Saturday. What's your prediction?
Just looking at it on paper, I think it's going to be a shootout. And I mean, if Southern gets up, don't relax. These guys come back on you. So I'm going to be nervous till the final buzzer goes off. And I think it's a track meet. The high scoring ball game, kind of like the old WAC games of the '80s.
I got you. All right, Glenn, we always appreciate your input, man. You're as good as they come covering Southern Miss, man. We thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Glyn Dyar, everybody, on the SuperTalk Eagle Hour. Hey, Eagle Tire West sponsored that segment. They invite you to come see them for premium Goodyear products, full auto and truck service. They're next to Smith Motor Company on Highway 98 West in Hattiesburg. Family operated since 1985, Eagle Tire and Eagle Tire West. Goodyear Tires, full service. Big Southern Miss supporters. Also want to say hello to our good friends at Mo Bay Beignet Company, 2902 Hardy Street. And, of course, Kevin Mullins, Mr. Grubbs, and all the crew at Genesis of Hattiesburg, the official auto dealer of the Eagle Hour, where you'll find Genesis sedans and SUVs from their exclusive Mississippi showroom, Highway 98 West in Hattiesburg. When we come back, Josh Moten, Landry Lyddy, all on the SuperTalk Eagle Hour.
You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour. The Eagle Hour. Southern Miss to the top.
All right, DBAT sponsors this segment of the SuperTalk Eagle Hour. Great place, as we mentioned yesterday, for some Christmas shopping. And, of course, my guess is they'll have some camps and stuff during the holidays as well that you can check out. DBAT on Hardy Street, very much appreciate what they do. Forest Health reminds you that keeping up with your favorite team is fun, but don't forget the most important player, that's you. Get an annual physical exercise and be sure your health is as good as it can be. Forest Health can help with expert medical care closer to home, foresthealth.org. All right, the two names that everybody was talking about after this past Saturday Golden Eagle football, Josh Moten and Landry Lyddy, and, of course, Kelly Sanner, they're both on the Eagle Hour, right?
Only because Dima has
I was about to
great
say,
connections.
Thanks to this young man, Dima Mixon. Let's talk about Josh Moten first. Dima, set this interview up.
Yeah, so obviously, when Charles Huff came from Marshall, there was 2 or 3 names that everybody was kind of like, oh, could he bring with him? Josh Moten was obviously number one of the biggest ones outside of Braylon Braxton. And he's actually struggled a little bit this season to actually have his coming out party, if that makes sense, of everybody what he knows, what everybody knows he can be. Part of that is that a lot of teams just refuse to throw it his way. For some reason, Arkansas State decided to throw his way, and 3 interceptions happened. And so I got to talk with him about just kind of his, where he's at mentally this season and where he wants to continue to improve. All right, Josh Moten on the SuperTalk Eagle Hour. Josh, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Josh, I was listening to the radio show after the game, and Coach Huff was talking about how he had a conversation with you earlier in the week before the Arkansas State game. Just, you kind of feeling like you wish you were kind of doing more on as far as numbers-wise, even though you're an exceptional player. He sent you a Bible verse, and Saturday, 3 picks.
Yeah, it's crazy how my Lord works. I thank him every day for the blessings he gives me. I thank him for putting people like Coach Huff in my life and his team and his university. They make it easier for me to go out and do my job. He just continued to tell me, just keep your faith, believe in yourself, believe in what you went through, and the player you are.
One of your interceptions in the back of the end zone, it felt like the wide receiver was almost playing your role because you had been tracking the ball all the way in, and he was trying to deflect it, but you still came away with the interception. Can you speak on that play maybe a little bit and kind of what you saw there?
Yeah, I just went up and made a play on the ball. Coach Huff talks about all week how it doesn't do anything for us to knock it down, but catching it is the difference. And our D-line did a good job of getting to the quarterback, causing pressure, and it was a great play.
When you play a team with a quarterback like Jalen Raynor and the quarterback you're probably going to see this week in Texas State, team that passes a lot, against you guys, you're the number 1 team in the country in interceptions forced. Talk to me about how confident that allows the secondary to be.
Yeah, our confidence comes from the preparation throughout the week that we put in, and just believing in each other and the things we went through together. So that's kind of where our confidence comes from.
Talk to me about your relationship with Coach Huff and kind of, what that means to you.
Yeah, it means the world to me. He's like a father figure to me. This is one of the big reasons why I came to Southern Miss.
Can you talk about Anthony Richard as well and just what he's done on the other end?
Yeah, it's crazy. I've known Ant for probably around 2.5 years now, and just watching him grow as a player, it's crazy. I'm very proud of him, and he deserves everything coming his way.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us. Anything else you have to say for the Southern Miss Nation?
Southern Miss to the top.
All right, Josh Moten. Of course, the other big story in Saturday's game, Dima, was Landry Lyddy.
Yeah. Came off the bench. 2 crucial, critical touchdown drives that ended up really being the difference in the game. They only won by 6 points. So even if one of those didn't go, they would have lost the game. So critical moments. Got to talk to him about his kind of journey here, why he decided to come to Southern Miss. So let's hear what he had to say. All right, Landry Lyddy on the SuperTalk Eagle Hour. Landry, I think when Braylon went down, the whole fan base kind of, held their breath. You came in, led 2 touchdown drives in that Arkansas State game that, flawless.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just kind of one of those things. As the backup, you got to be prepared for your moment. And whenever that came, it was just kind of a no-flinch mentality. And I was able to go in there and kind of serve my teammates and put them in positions to make plays. So,
talk to me about your journey to Southern Miss, because a lot of people out of the transfer portal don't just, you knew Braylon was coming here. Absolutely. And you still chose to come here and decided to sit behind. You knew you were going to sit behind him. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. No, it was definitely a tough decision. This is year 4 for me, so obviously as a competitor you're very eager to play, but I knew what kind of player he was and I knew what kind of offense we were stepping into, and I thought this was the best fit for me. So,
what about Southern Miss made you decide to come here?
Yeah, initially it was Coach Anderson. He was my first point of contact. He contacted me out of the portal, and we kind of hit it off from the beginning. He knows some of the connections I have through Billy Joe Tolliver and a couple other guys. But once I got here, I really fell in love with Coach Huff and the way we run the fourth quarter program and just the culture here. It's different. So,
talk to me about what's different about this program from UAB or even the past from college experiences you've had.
Yeah. So this is definitely the closest team that I've ever been a part of, and it shows on the field every Saturday. And whenever a group of guys are connected like that, I mean, people are able to really it's ultimately just a band of brothers. And whenever you're out there playing for more than just yourself, there's a big difference.
I've talked to Coach Huff a lot about player relationship between him and his players, and he considers that to be one of his biggest strengths. What say you to that? Because I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons transfers like you, people who weren't on the Marshall team last year, basically, the players who needed to be great for this team to be good have been. And I think that's a testament to his relationship, their skill, of course, your skill, of course, but also the trust that you placed into Coach Anderson and to Coach Huff.
Absolutely. I've never been a part of a team with a culture like this. So this is completely different. And like I said, every Saturday, when I go out there, when Braylon goes out there, whoever it is, you're playing for more than yourself. And I think when you have that in the back of your mind, it kind of drives you to play the way you do. So.
When you were told you were going in, what did Braylon say to you?
Oh, Braylon was fired up. He's like, go do what you always do at practice, So that's pretty. To have the starter come up to me and say that, and him be genuine in that. We've had conversations before and after the game. He's very genuine, and he had all the praise in the world. And not to mention his final drives going in there were absolutely surgical. He did a great job finishing that game off. So our relationship is definitely what kind of made last game work the way it did. So.
What would you say you've learned the most of from him?
His leadership ability is unlike anything I've seen. He's an elite leader on this team.
So do you feel like at the end of the day you're happy with your decision to come here?
I am, absolutely, 100%.
Wouldn't change anything?
Wouldn't change a thing.
That's awesome. Landry, thanks for joining us today, man.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
All right, Landry Lyddy and Josh Moten, and you hear that word culture. We hear that word a lot in baseball, but you sense it now, right, in football.
No doubt. This is definitely one of the closer teams that I've ever covered, and I've covered five teams on Southern Miss now, Southern Miss football teams, and they're very close. They're very intellectual. Like when you talk to all these players, they know football. Like it's honestly and really impressive, and that's all the credit to the coaching staff, but also to the players who put in the time and the effort into being the team that they want to be, and you see the results on the field.
Kelly, how can you not pull for these kids, man? These kids they're really getting it done.
They are, and in one word, it's maturity. When Braylon reacts like he reacts when his backup is going into the game and he genuinely wishes him well and wants him to, that is maturity.
Right.
You have enough self-confidence and self-awareness that you're not threatened by somebody else going into the game. And one particular thing I want to credit Coach Huff about is that almost day one that he stepped on campus, he said, Braylon Braxton is the quarterback. Braylon Braxton is our quarterback. Now, with the way that Lyddy performed last Saturday, in any other program, there's a possibility people say, well, maybe Lyddy boy, he did a great job. Maybe we should look more. Braylon Braxton is the quarterback of this team, and there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and I think Lyddy giving them that confidence that in the off chance that they may need them on Saturday, because Braylon's health is not, it isn't 100%. We know that for sure. We don't know what it will be like on Saturday, but we know at least as of yesterday was not 100% that they were confident that Braylon was going to play.
I saw two things with Braylon Braxton this year. One I brought up on the show. A game earlier in the season, an offensive lineman gets his helmet knocked off. Braylon Braxton sprints to the sideline to get the man's helmet and hand it to his teammate. I thought that said a lot. I ran into him on a Saturday morning at a local Waffle House. And he's out in the parking lot, and there's a couple old retired gentlemen motorcycle guys. And they've got Braylon Braxton out on their motorcycles taking pictures of him. And he's grinning from ear to ear and shaking hands with these dudes. And Braylon Braxton, tell me if I'm wrong, Dima, is the undisputed leader of this football team.
Oh, it's not even close. You could probably point to a few players in certain position groups where they're the leaders in their respective groups, but the overall leader of the team is Braylon Braxton, and every single player you interview will tell you that. I mean, it won't even be a discussion, and Coach Huff would tell you it's not even a discussion, and that's why Coach Huff said that. He said, I know we're going to the break here, but real quick, he said, the reason we put Braylon Braxton in the game is because how am I going to look our leader in the face and say you can't play? No.
And Lyddy, let me say, generally speaking, Lyddy, with the maturity that he's got and just life experience, a backup quarterback at age 22 or 23 usually going to outperform a 19-year-old backup quarterback any day.
Sure.
This is more fun than the last few years.
I really don't know what we were talking about last year.
Big news from Robinson Electric Supply in Laurel. We've moved. You'll now find us directly behind our old building, right by Sawmill Animal Hospital. We're still your trusted electrical distributor, carrying everything from conduit to tape. And don't forget our full line of Milwaukee tools. Whether you're a contractor or a DIY pro, stop by the new Robinson Electric Supply at 1222 West 6th Street and see what's lighting up Laurel. Robinson Electric Supply. New location, same trusted service.
Southern Miss to the top. To the top. You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This segment is sponsored by 4th Street Bar and Grill right there in the shadow of the Rock. Great place to have lunch. 2 days away, Catfish Friday. Appreciate Slade White and all the gang down at 4th Street Bar and Grill. They've been part of our family for a long time, and we're very, very grateful to them for that. Hey, don't forget about the Eagle Hour podcast. You can tell Alexa or Siri to play the Eagle Hour, or you can go to Apple, Audible, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, or YouTube. Want to thank again Coach Bobby Halford from William Carey University, newest member, ingoing member of the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame, Glyn Dyar, and of course enjoyed hearing from those two young men on the Southern Miss football team. Dima, we got a big conference game tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, Troy is on the road at Old Dominion in what is a big game that Southern Miss fans should definitely be tuned into. If Southern Miss were to beat Texas State and South Alabama and Troy were to lose tomorrow night, Southern Miss would be the clinch the West Division. So it's a big game. 11.5-point home favorites are the Monarchs. So pretty big number there.
You're still not buying Coastal in the East like I am.
Well, if they beat Georgia Southern this week, they're hosting James Madison for the title.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But you're not buying.
They're not going to beat James Madison.
Okay. No, that's what I was asking, I guess, indirectly.
Yeah, I mean, they might get there. They're not going to beat them.
I think they're going to beat James Madison. I think that's
going to beat James Madison.
What?
I think that's going to be one of the league stories this year, is that James Madison had a great year, didn't get to the conference championship.
Why do you think Coastal is going to beat James Madison?
They just seem to me to be a team of destiny. They're winning. Nobody expected them, very much like Southern Miss, to do anything. All the cards have been falling the right way. James Madison was expected to do what they're doing. I just think it's kind of a Cinderella story, and Coastal's playing really well right now, and they, especially at home, and JMU has to go to Coastal. And with everything on the line,
But they lost to Old Dominion 47-7.
That was then. This is now.
Okay.
We lost to Louisiana Tech.
That's not a conference opponent.
Let me just go ahead and say the conference championship game will be Southern Miss and James Madison.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you guys think. I think we're going to be playing Coastal here at the Rock.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, I'd like that myself. But
yeah, it would save a trip to Virginia for me. So,
yeah. Hey, what do you hear about, speaking of Coastal, you guys hearing anything about the Coastal baseball coach leaving?
No, I think he's stayed
think
put.
he's gonna
yeah.
stay?
No, well,
they gave him a contract extension, didn't they?
Yeah, Tennessee.
Okay. I heard Tennessee was really recruiting.
Yeah,
They
were,
hired the other guy.
Yeah, they were after him. But then, of course, agents and coaches, and I'm not saying in this case, but they'll go, oh, well, Tennessee's interested. We're going to have to give him a couple more years and give him some more money in order to stay.
I'll tell you another big baseball coaching job you think may be coming open is at Florida.
Yeah, it's possible. Our boy Andrew Abbott will have that story.
Yeah, I kind of think Florida's looking for a way to part ways with their coach.
Well, they got to get a football coach first. So
yeah, they got a lot of coaching hires.
A lot of stuff to figure out over there.
Yeah. All right, guys. So here we are again, man. We're 2 days away from. We say this every week, but another big ball game.
And look,
I mean, everyone from now on is big for sure.
Talking
my
to
voice cracks.
Meteorologist buddies, it's going to be sunny and 79 for a high on Saturday, man. It should just be an impeccable day for football.
Can we say this? Why would you not go to the game on Saturday?
I just don't know. I don't know.
Unless you legitimately cannot be there. Like some people have to be other places.
No, some people have to work, et cetera. But
But like these kids.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more.
They're 7-2. What else do you want from them?
And you got an opportunity when you live here in Hattiesburg to enjoy Division I college athletics, and it takes you 15 minutes to get to the stadium.
I think people take that for granted.
Come on, man. Let's get a big crowd.
If you live in Jackson, you don't get to enjoy,
Oh, let me tell you, if you live in Greenville, you get to drive like I did for 25 years, 4 hours one way, and get in the car and drive 4 hours to go back. And we never missed a home game.
And sometimes we have on this program been a little bit critical of our fan base. We've also been complimentary, but I think somebody brought out a point in conversation one time, which I think is worth repeating, that as a whole, when COVID hit, it forced people to change their lifestyles, and when you couldn't go anywhere, really do anything, you just changed your behavior. You changed your habits. It doesn't take long. What did psychologists say? 29 days or something to change a habit. And people started doing other things. And it's just been really hard. And it's not just Southern Miss. There's other schools that have been suffering with attendance too. Live streaming. All those other things that you can do.
ESPN Plus is a big factor in decreased attendance in all athletic.
Right. But there's nothing like seeing the pride in person.
Yeah.
Getting the smell of hamburgers and seeing the fraternities and sororities.
Of course,
I take it to food. But the sororities.
You didn't say anything about beer. That was what I was expecting.
Well, you don't smell beer so much. But sororities and fraternities participating in the pageantry of a college football Saturday. And weather-wise, like I said, the last time, remember, it wasn't a big crowd homecoming. Oh, it was raining.
Well, this is it. On a high school front, there's a ton of area games here in Hattiesburg. Oak Grove's hosting, Petal's hosting, several Hattiesburg's hosting. Playoff games, yeah.
Almost all the Lamar County schools are in.
Yeah, every one of them was hosting other than PCS, I think.
And watch out for the Hattiesburg Tigers.
Yeah, they're hot. They're really hot.
Fun show today. We're going to have the voice of Texas State on the program tomorrow. We'll see what he has to say about his team. As always, thank you very much for listening to the SuperTalk Eagle Hour. Until next time, Southern Miss.
To the top.
Time keeps on slipping into the future. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. I go through the revolution.
Waiting. You do it at grocery stores, in traffic, and at the doctor's office. But what if you could skip the wait altogether? Introducing Trust Care Plus, a healthcare membership that makes feeling better even faster. Skip the waiting room and enjoy priority access at any Trust Care clinic. Sick kid? Text your care crew day or night. Get discounts on prescriptions and so much more. Wait no more. Feeling better just got a whole lot faster. Join Trust Care Plus today. Plans start from just $15 a month. Learn more at trustcarehealth.com/plus.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.